this video, I'm gonna break down my exact webinar framework that's made over $35 million in courses and coaching sales in the past couple years. This exact framework has allowed me to have some of the biggest launches ever. For example, like doing over $2.2 million in 1 month and over $400,000 in 1 day. In fact, these strategies work so well that I've been able to help people like Carter Cofield go from $100K a month to $1 million a month, David Omari go from $100K a month to $1 million a month, and even my girlfriend, who only had 5,000 followers, no offer, was able to do 100K in 26 days in profit using these strategies. I can confidently say that there's probably no one else more qualified to talk about this topic. So pretend like you paid to watch this video and let's do this. So this is what my webinar framework looks like. It's very simple when you look at it from the outside, but as we get through this video, you'll start to understand how this whole machine works. So I run ads, so ads right here. Some of you guys are probably really good when it comes to organic content. That's not me, as you can tell by like my subscribers on YouTube and Instagram and all that. I'm just lazy when it comes to content, to be honest, when I'm trying to get better at it. But I've been blessed with mastering paid ads. So I run ads to this webinar funnel where it's a simple opt-in. You know, people put in their name, email, phone number, and you know, it's an opt-in with like a headline, like learn how I made X on Amazon and how you can do it too, even if you don't. And then it's like limiting belief, whatever their objections are. So run ads to this opt-in, they register, and as soon as they register, they get sent to what's called a bridge page. On this bridge page, it's a video of me saying, hey, congratulations for registering, but before you go, I want to tell you about X product and why it would benefit you to get this before the actual webinar, so you can come in with more background knowledge and just have a way better experience on the webinar, training, class, whatever you want to call it, right? So on this bridge sale, I'm basically pitching a $27 offer that will enhance their experience on the actual training. So I'm trying to draw a money sign here. Excuse my handwriting, but yeah, it's a $27 basically mini course. It can be anything. Like for example, on my girlfriend's offer, she teaches people how to get into sales. People opt into her funnel, and then right after they opt in, it's a video of her recommending a script that she's used to close over $1 million worth of deals. And she explains how if they buy that script on the webinar, all the other things she talks about will make a lot more sense. So it's really anything that can complement what you're going to be talking about on the actual training. Now, the reason why this $27 mini course is so important is, number one, it pays off your ad spend. So imagine doing a webinar, you're spending money on ads, and this little $27 product right here actually recoups all of your ad spend. Now, I will say it's rare for it to do that, but even if it can cover 50% of your marketing budget every single month, like would it not be worth it to you to add that to the funnel? Now, that's important thing number one. Important thing number two that this bridge sale does is it also lets you know how many buyers are actually going to be on your webinar. We've run a lot of tests and we've actually seen that 80% of the buyers on the webinar bought this bridge sale offer. So now that lets me know before I even do the webinar, I can just look at how many bridge sale buyers I have and know if I'm gonna actually have a good webinar or a bad one. Because that right there, like I said, tells me how many buyers I'm going to have in the room. And for your media buyer, the person that runs your ads, this is helpful for them because now they can run ads and only optimize the ads for people that are most likely to buy this bridge sale, rather than running ads that are only optimized to get you a lead, because a bridge sale buyer is a way higher quality lead than a free opt-in. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too advanced for some of you guys, but that is why the bridge sale works. Now, after they buy this bridge sale, whether they buy it or whether they don't, they get sent to a thank you page where it's basically just me saying, hey, congratulations for registering for the webinar. I'll see you on Sunday. Make sure to check your email, make sure to check your spam, you know, little housekeeping things like this. And then I say, make sure to join our free Facebook group. That's where we're going to be posting all reminders and we're going to be doing a giveaway, etc., right? So we really push them to get into this free Facebook group. I think right now this Facebook group has 70,000 members. Okay, you can look it up too if you want. You can literally go on Facebook and type in free Sunday workshop William Rivera and it'll pop up. It's at like 70,000 plus members. The reason why this is so important is because this Facebook group is like a more powerful email list. You can send an email and the open rates aren't really going to be that impressive, okay, unless you're a really good copywriter, and even if you are, it's still not going to be that good. Whereas a Facebook group, it's way more engaged than an email list. And a Facebook Messenger message is gonna get a way higher open rate than an email will. So that's why this Facebook group is so important. And again, as I go through this training, you're gonna see how much more important this Facebook group actually becomes. So not only are we creating this even more powerful email list, but it actually helps me get more sales. And I'll explain. So on the actual webinar, when I make my pitch for my $2,000 program, which yours doesn't have to be $2,000. I recommend on a webinar to sell anything between $297 on the low end to $1997 on the high end, which is like what I sell my program for. And after I pitch that $1997 offer on the webinar, what I do is I tell everyone, hey, if you just enrolled, I want you to go ahead and post in that Facebook group and let everyone know that you just enrolled so we can add you into our private community. And what happens is all of the people that are buying on the webinar are gonna start posting in this Facebook group. And guess what that does? All of the attendees and all of the people that registered for the webinar but didn't attend, they start getting spammed with Facebook push notifications. And they're like, oh shit, like what are people enrolling into? And then you start getting a lot of FOMO buyers that aren't even on the webinar. They just start buying your shit because they're like, oh, I mean, if these people are buying this stuff, like let me buy it. So either that's gonna happen or you're gonna get a bunch of people that missed the webinar because, I don't know, life happened and they registered and they just didn't attend. And they're gonna hop into the live room because they're like, oh, like he's probably going crazy. Like he's probably dropping a lot of value. Like all these people are buying. Let me see what he's talking about. They're gonna join mid-pitch and then you're able to convert more people. So that's why this Facebook group is so powerful. And that's not even, it doesn't end there. So after I've pitched for about 30 minutes, I'll be like, hey, listen, if you're still in the room, obviously, you know, you're interested in getting into this program, but you probably simply just can't afford it. So here's what I wanna do. How many of you guys would love if I gave away a couple of the spots of the program tonight? Comment yes down below. Obviously, everyone starts commenting yes. So then I say, okay, cool. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give away a couple spots into the program. All you have to do is record a video of yourself letting me know if you enjoyed today's training, like what you learned, like would you recommend it? And I want you to post that video in the Facebook group. And what happens now is, let's say you have 1,000 people in the webinar, right? At my peak, I would have 5,000 people in the webinar. But let's say you just have 1,000. Let's say out of those 1,000 people in the webinar, only 10% decide to enter that giveaway and give you a video. Now you have 100 videos just gassing your webinar. It's the best webinar I ever attended, yada, 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 in this Facebook group. And you can use all those videos as retargeting ads. Like you have all that creative now that you can use. And they just start sending that in the Facebook group. I give away a couple spots, but now that gives me crazy marketing material that I can use, that I can give my media buyer. Like right now, because I've done this place so many times, we have like 1,000 videos of people saying my webinar was the best webinar ever. And we just run them as retargeting ads to people that landed on our webinar lander, but didn't actually register. And it gets us very, very, very cheap cost per lead because the social proof is undeniable, right? So that's another play that we run there. Now, besides the Facebook group play, once people buy the $1997 offer or whatever your webinar offer is, we send them to a thank you page where it's a video of me that says, hey, congratulations for, you know, enrolling into Ecom Degree University. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and book a call with our customer success team. Now, on that call that they book, they're gonna get onboarded by my sales team, and then we're gonna pitch them a higher ticket offer. Okay, so I'm gonna write BAC right here. That just simply means book a call. And I know this is very unorganized, guys, but I'm sure y'all get the point. So yeah, they book a call, and on this call, my team onboards them, but they also ask them, hey, did Will talk about his group coaching, his one-on-one mentorship? Did he mention that at all? They're gonna say no. Boom, then they run them through the pitch. Right now, we are upgrading 46% of every person that buys on the webinar. So 46% are getting upgraded, okay? If 100 people pay 2K on the webinar, 46 of them are gonna end up paying 5K immediately after, because they book this call immediately after they buy, and we sell them into the high ticket within 48 hours of that happening, okay? So if you think about it, that's crazy because you already made your money back on the webinar. So all of this other money that you're making on the back end is pure profit. And that's why they say, the top marketers say this all the time, the real money is made on the back end. And this is exactly what they're talking about. So once they book a call, 46% get ascended into a $5,800 offer. Okay. And this is simply just basically a better version of what they just bought. Like it's just more coaching, more hands-on. Okay. So 46% of people buy that. And that is basically the webinar model that's made me over $30 million. Now, to get into the actual webinar itself, I would highly like how to actually do the presentation. I would highly recommend you guys read the book One to Many. That book was written by Jason Fladlin, who is a webinar god. He actually taught me how to do webinars. He taught Russell Brunson how to do webinars, and he's done over $100 million in webinar sales. Okay, he actually had one of the biggest webinar, or the biggest webinar launch ever, where he did $54 million with one webinar. Okay, that's exactly how I learned how to do this. Don't just expect to do a webinar like you would do any other presentation. There's a lot of buyer psychology that goes into it, and you actually need to master how you do that presentation. But just to give you guys the quick rundown, basically when you create your webinar, you're gonna have a short intro where you kind of introduce what it is that you're gonna be covering on the training, not who you are, introducing what it is you're gonna be covering on the training, because remember, no one really gives a fuck who you are. They're on your webinar because they wanna make money or they want the end result that you're promising them. Like if you're a trainer, they wanna get more fit. If you're teaching them how to make money, they wanna make more money. They don't really care who you are. So you wanna start out with like what's in it for them. And then after you remind them what's in it for them, right? After you remind them why they opted in, then you kind of get into your hero's journey, not your full long story. They don't care. You just get into, hey, look, 6 years ago, I was a felon at 17 working at an Amazon warehouse. What I'm gonna teach you in this webinar took me from here to boom, the next slide is literally me sitting on my apartment building with the Rivera Park, me basically sitting on my last name and showing them that I own an apartment building. I was able to retire my mom, etc. I show them the payoff. That's what they care about. They don't care about you, they care about the payoff. So I resonate with them. I show them that, hey, listen, I used to be in your position. Now I'm here. And that gap between me and you is gonna be filled by the end of this training, basically. That's what the intro is. I don't go through my full story because again, nobody cares. Then after that, you get into the 3 secrets, okay? The 3 secrets, and these 3 secrets, each secret should be crushing an objection that they have. So for example, for me, I'm in the Amazon space. The biggest objection that people have, the biggest limiting belief is probably, this is saturated. So my first secret that I go over is how to find a profitable product to sell on Amazon, even with there being millions of sellers on the platform. And I kind of just break that limiting belief that they have through psychology and through education at the same time. Then the next secret might be how to know for a fact that your product is going to be profitable and how you can get started with less than $500, whatever their limiting objection is. I'll turn it into like a secret, a master class within that webinar. So I'm crushing limiting beliefs and educating them at the same time. That's basically the core of what a webinar is. You have to basically be a life coach and educate them at the same time and crush limiting beliefs. And then after you do the 3 secrets, which is your content piece of your webinar, you're gonna get into a transition, not the pitch, a transition. This is where a lot of people mess up. A lot of people go from intro content to pitch. It should really be intro content, transition, then the pitch. And the transition allows you to get into the pitch with momentum. So for example, the transition might sound a little something like this, like, hey guys, I know we went over a lot of stuff today, so let's just recap real quick. We went over how you can find products using X. We went over how you can verify that they're profitable using X. We went over this. You remind them how valuable that moment actually was with you, because you've just been going on for an hour. You got to remind them of everything that they just learned. And then you can get into like, like, I really appreciate you guys for being here. You could have been doing anything else. You could have been watching Netflix. You could have been watching Hulu, but you decided to be right here with me. And that lets me know that you're actually serious and not curious about getting to the next level. So let me ask you guys this. Do you guys actually want to see what it would look like to, not only just be on this training with me for 2 hours, because no matter how good of a presenter I am and how good of a listener you are, I simply just can't give you everything in 2 hours. So how many of you guys would like to actually learn how they can continue this learning journey with me? Comment yes down below if you'd like to learn that. Then boom, everybody starts commenting yes. They basically just begged you to pitch them. Now you get into a seamless pitch rather than going from educating to then just hard pitching. Like you kind of like kill the vibe if you do that. So the transition is very, very important. So once you've transitioned and everyone's given you permission to pitch, then you pitch. You reveal the offer. Like you show them the offer, you show them the price, and then you get into like the bonuses. Like for all of you guys that enroll tonight, you're gonna be getting bonus number 1, bonus number 2, bonus number 3, and the bonuses should be something that seems more valuable than the program itself. Like for example, I might pitch my program, Ecom Degree University, which is a step-by-step Amazon course, and then I might be like, for the first 50 people that buy tonight, bonus number 1, I'm gonna send you 10 products that you can sell right now to make money on Amazon. Someone would have paid what the program costs just for that one bonus, because that one bonus is just so valuable. Then bonus number 2 might be like, for the first 50 people that buy, I'm actually gonna go ahead and give you a one-on-one call with one of our coaches for the first 6 weeks of you being in the program. So again, the bonuses have to hold their own weight. And if you structure your webinar like this, you're gonna dramatically increase your conversion rate. So let's just do some simple webinar math, right? Let's say you have 1,000 registrants. The average show rate on a webinar is anywhere between 20 to 25%. So let's say you get 25% of people that show up. That means if you have 1,000 registrants, you're gonna get 250 people in the room, and 10% is the conversion rate that you wanna go with. Average is probably anywhere between like 5%. But let's just say you get 10%. 20% conversion rate. That's what you should really fight for. That's what we're at right now. If you have 250 people in the room, again, that's a 25% show rate if you had 1,000 registrants, and 10% buy, that means you would have 25 buyers. Let's say you're selling a $997 course. We sell at double that price, but I think $997 is a sweet spot. That means you would have made 25,000 on the front end. And then let's say out of those 25 people that bought that $997 course, 10 of them upgrade, okay? 10 of them upgrade to the 5,800 on the back end. That means you made 25,000 on the webinar, and off just the 10 upgrades, you made an additional $58,000. So your total revenue for that webinar is over $100,000, okay? Or actually, excuse my math, you're at like 80 something, maybe $90,000. And then if you include the replay, because remember, there 250 people showed up to the webinar, 750 registered, but they didn't attend. So those people start getting emails of the recording, and you'll convert like another 2 to 3% from the recordings, okay? So in total, once the webinar recordings are sent, you'll probably be at over $100,000 in sales. Typically, that's what we're seeing. So yeah, that's the basic webinar math. Now there's other optimizations that you can make. For example, if you're doing a webinar every Friday, you can test other days. You might have a higher show rate on Saturday. You might have a higher show rate on Sunday. Us, we've tested pretty much every day, and we're seeing Sunday or Thursday are usually the best days. So that's an optimization that you can make. Another one is improving your presentation, right? Improving your pitch, improving your bonuses, shattering more limiting beliefs on your actual presentation, and showing more case studies, and having diverse selection of case studies, right? You want to show all races in the presentation because people can only resonate with people that look like them. You know, that's just a fact. So you want to be very diverse in showing those case studies on the actual presentation. Another thing is you want to make sure that you have buy now, pay later integration. Some people are not going to be able to afford your offer, but if you have a firm, Klarna, Afterpay, things like that, that can add a couple extra, percentages to your conversion. And also email marketing. Like I said, if you're good at this, you're going to have like a 25% show rate, or maybe 30 if you're killing it. So that still means that 70% of the people that registered, meaning they gave you their name, they gave you their phone number, they showed interest in what you were talking about. 70% didn't show up though. There's still a lot of money to be made right there. Okay, there's a ton of money to be made right there. You can email them the recordings, and I'm gonna give you a super ninja trick before I end this video that I actually got from my boy Eddie Malouf at my mastermind that I did last week, and I know for a fact this is gonna make you money. So if 70% of the people that registered didn't attend, but they still clicked on your ad, put in their name, put in their email, it means that they're still genuinely interested in learning what it is that they opted in for. They just missed it for some reason. And it's probably because they didn't have enough time, or they didn't care enough to dedicate 2 hours of their time to this webinar. But just because they couldn't dedicate 2 hours of their time doesn't mean that they won't dedicate 30 minutes of their time or 15 minutes of their time, right? So all of these people that didn't attend, you can send them an email that says, hey man, I saw you registered and you didn't attend, and maybe it's because you just didn't have 2 hours that day, or you don't have 2 hours, maybe you're a busy guy. So here's what I did. I took this 2-hour presentation that I did last week, and I condensed it, all of the best parts, all of the information that you really need to know, into a 15-minute presentation. Here's the video. Odds are you're gonna have a very, very big percentage of the people that missed out watch that 15-minute video, because now they're like, oh wow, it's only 15 minutes. He condensed it to all the best parts. Let me watch that. So boom, they watch the 15-minute video, and then you just add the pitch at the end, or you can add a book a call, and that video right there, that recording, is gonna convert a lot more people for you. You'll be able to add some more conversion percentage points to your actual whole webinar funnel. And I know what I went over might be a little bit intimidating for you if you're someone that's only making maybe 10, 20, 30K a month with info products. But just remember, when I got started with this webinar funnel, I was only making about 30K a month organically. I was the guy that was posting on YouTube, writing threads on Twitter, creating my own posts on Instagram. Like I was my own video editor, my own copywriter, everything. I was doing everything, right? Working really, really hard. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I'm one of the most laziest entrepreneurs in the space. Like I'm in the top 1% of earners in this space, right? And it's because I am utilizing a better system now. This webinar funnel runs without me having to, orchestrate all of the moving pieces in it. I just show up on the webinar, I perform, and then I chill for the rest of the week, and then I show up again, perform, and then I chill for the rest of the week. Like I literally feel like Floyd Mayweather in his prime, where he wouldn't fight for a year, and then he shows up on the fight, gets paid quick, and then he's on vacation for the rest of the year again. Okay, that's what it feels like when you're doing big webinars like this. So if you want to learn how you can implement this, click the link down below in the description and book a call with my team, and you can someday be like Carter Cofield. Again, he went from 100K a month to $1 million a month using these same exact strategies. strategies. David Omari went from 100K a month to $1 million a month using these same exact strategies. And these are smart people, right? They were already making a lot of money, but we're just expert at this craft and we can see things that a lot of people can't see. And I'm sure that we can help you too. So go ahead, click that link down below and book the call. Worst case scenario, you're gonna get value on that call for free that can help you scale your business, okay? So go ahead, book that call. I appreciate you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.